picturesque 70 degrees, just about zero humidity. It is bliss in America's finest city. Reds and Padres, picturesque conditions, the middle game of 3. Reds trying to snap a 5-game slide. Blake Dunn saw a ton of pitches yesterday. He leads off the 9 from St. Elizabeth Healthcare. J.J. Bleday has had some line drive outs. Also had himself a ground rule double last night. Stewart, Lowe, Spencer Steer back in the 9, trying to snap it 0 for 10. He saw his 24-game on base streak come to a close a couple of days ago. Gino's the DH. McLean's been on a tear. So is Tyler Stevenson. Edwin Arroyo got his running in. He was off with the pitch for Dunn a half dozen times during an 11-pitch battle in the 5th inning last night. The Reds tasked with facing a veteran right-hander, Lucas Giolito. What are your benefits all-in keys tonight?
Well, I think number one, John, the Reds have got to show a bit of patience with this big, tall right-hander. He's walked 13 batters in 16 2/3 innings, still trying to find his command a little bit. Only his 5th start. Got off to a late start as far as getting into season mode, and I think that the Reds are going to want to swing because his fastball stays right around 90-91. He's going to throw some pitches that look awfully good, so they're going to want to be aggressive. They've just got to make sure they're aggressive on pitches that they can hit in the strike zone.
He took a comebacker off his hand when he was getting ramped up for the year at AAA in late April. His fastball has been hit, 381 the average against on the year. But those walks are enormous. And I think in waves we have seen extended patience from Reds hitters. And it depends upon the pocket of the game and sometimes what the score is in the inning.
When you're losing,
yeah,
you have a tendency to be a little bit over-aggressive trying to make something happen. You've got to step away from that a little bit and just play the game.
I think Dunn has had some terrific at-bats for this Reds team. Rides a 6-game hit streak, almost 360 in that time. Only 4 strikeouts. And he takes strike 1. He had 1 base hit last night. What a war he had. 11 pitches, fouled off over half of them, eventually did strike out. And he tried to check there, and there's an impatient hack at a slider. Now, Giolito walking 7 per 9. That's astronomically high, but only 1 last time out in Philadelphia.
And part of that in Philadelphia is they were swinging at everything. We know how aggressive that bunch is. The Reds have already played the Phillies once.
He went 4 innings in that game, 3 runs, 2 earned. Did give up a homer. Check swing. Late appeal. He did not go. He also has been on a seemingly tighter pitch limit. And maybe that's trying to get out before things get bad. He's averaging high 70s in his pitch count.
Yeah, the most pitches he's thrown in a ball game was in his 2nd start. He threw 86, and that was in 5 innings. And you can see already, this is not the kind of big league stuff that you see on a regular basis.
Payoff pitch. And Dunn swings through, strike 3.
Well, that's a ball. It looks good because it's about 90 miles an hour, but it's above the catcher's mask. And if you're going to swing at that, if you hit it, you're just going to hit a fly ball into the outfield.
Now, lefties have particularly hammered Giolito this year. J.J. Bleday takes strike 1. Lefties are in the 360s against Giolito. OPS nearly 1,000. That's around where Bleday was through the end of May. Contact has dropped off a bit, but it's only a week plus into June. And a lot of the outs for Bleday have been sizzled. He did double, walk, and score yesterday. We've also seen a decent number of just foul drilled contact by Bleday. And this one is lifted shallow right center. Longer run for Jackson Merrill. 2 down. Defense for the Padres, who have lost 7 of 9, 11 of 14. Be on the lookout for Bryce Johnson. He's more of a journeyman. He's only had 200 some odd plate appearances in the bigs. What does he do best? He plays clean defense. He's got a good arm. Has not been charged with a major league error. Only was charged with 10 errors in over 5,400 innings of outfield play in the minor leagues. Already has 3 outfield assists in his short taste of the bigs this year. He is solid in right field. Sal Stewart had comeback contact, drove in a run yesterday, 1 for 3 with a walk. A lot of changeups that are largely being taken by these Reds.
He's got to throw that changeup because his fastball is at a deficit. He's got a great angle coming to the plate, being 6'5", 6'6", throwing downhill.
Stewart thought that was ball 4. He was about to toss the bat. Now calls time. And now Stewart walks. So Giolito lifetime against the Reds. It's been a few years. In the limited times he has faced Cincinnati, they've crushed him. 7 homers in 14 1/3. His ERA is over 8 lifetime against the Reds. He was mauled when he was with Cleveland. Terry Francona was the skipper late September of 23.
Well, if you show patience against this guy, he will go 3-2 to every hitter that walks up there.
Nathaniel Lowe, first pitch, lifted shallow right. Tatis out. Johnson in. Stewart stranded. Chase Burns to the mound.
Fine. It's just the best.
Struck him out. Twisted like a top. Nasty slider.
That is a great hitter standing at the plate. He missed that ball by 1.5 feet.
Struck him out. 3 up, 3 down, all by way of K.
That's unleashing the beast right there.
In his first full year as a major league pitcher, Chase Burns has been brilliant.
Yes, he has, John. He has answered the bell every time the Reds have given him the ball. Well, let's hope he's ringing the bell tonight.
Fernando Tatis Jr. walked on an 0 for 4 night yesterday. First pitch popped up. Nathaniel Lowe.
That's the greatest part of Chase Burns right there. He doesn't care what your name is, who you are, how good you've been in the past. He just says, here's my stuff, see if you can hit it.
He'll now face Jackson Merrill, 0 for 4, a strikeout yesterday. Now the Padres as a unit have struggled significantly offensively for some time. And last night their top 4 hitters were a combined 1 for 16.
They didn't try any bunts.
Fair point. That was more successful in the bottom third of the Padre order. That's where they are, dead last in runs, average, OPS. That's on the year. They've lost 4 consecutive series entering this one. But Cincinnati for some years has had a hard time in San Diego. Swung through, strike 3. And a lot of the league is trouble with Chase Burns delivering.
Pretty good breaking ball. This is a strike whether you swing or not. All right, that's right down Broadway.
And now Manny Machado 0 for 4 yesterday. First pitch lifted right field. Spencer Steer. A lightning quick opening inning for Chase Burns.
Cameras and doorbells from Ring. Shop now at ring.com.
Call 0 as we shift to the second. Spencer Steer pinch hit yesterday and struck out. He has lost the mustache. He rocked that for most of May into early June. First pitch fouled back. Now Steer has pummeled the Padres on his career. He's also hit Giolito. He's 2 for 4 against him. A couple of extra base hits. This one high in the air left field. Samad Taylor. The last time the Reds saw Lucas Giolito, he was an ad by Cleveland in a playoff push. The Reds were also adding in that time. He was a name that was buzzed about to maybe be on Cincinnati's shopping list. They crushed him. 5 runs in 3 1/3. He gave up 3 homers. He walked 5 that day.
Well, he's pitching at the top of the strike zone on purpose. Because if you're just a tad out in front, you're just going to hit a pop-up into the outfield, and that's what we've seen so far from the Reds.
You liked what you've seen the last 2 days in BP from Suarez.
I like what I saw today and yesterday. But you got to take 5 o'clock and turn it into 7 o'clock.
He was 0 for 4, a strikeout yesterday. 2 of his outs were hit hard. This is hit hard, but right to second base. Tatis, 2 down. The first ground ball out from Giolito tonight. Now Matt McLain, who doubled and walked, had 2 hits yesterday. In the month of June so far, almost .390 with 5 of his 7 hits going for extra bases. I mean, heck, Cowboy, the only time he was retired last night, it was a really nice play by Samad Taylor at the wall.
Yeah, it took a star play to get to the left center field wall and then a leap to pull it down.
Your message at the game start was patience. McLean's ahead 2-0. He used ABS rather aggressively yesterday. Looks like that one might have been in the zone. He won on 3 different challenges in 1 late game plate appearance. And he walks on 4 pitches. And Giolito spun around and put both hands out, seemingly frustrated with himself. A 4-pitch walk. Tyler Stevenson, base hit and a walk yesterday. On the trip, he's 5 for 11, a double, a homer, only 1 strikeout. McLean hops a huge lead and goes. Pitch missed away, long frame, and an easy steal of second for McLean.
Freddie Fermin knew as McLean took off, it didn't matter if he threw it down there in .01 seconds. He was not going to get him. He was already there by the time he got the ball.
It's 6 straight called balls. That is shot to center field and down for a base hit. McLean around third. He comes home. Tyler Stevenson connects. 2-out ribby single, and the Reds have a 1-0 lead.
It's quite an interesting swing by Stevenson. It looked like he just took the barrel of the bat, went out and caught the ball, and just flipped it into left center field.
Now Edwin Arroyo, base hit, got his first Major League RBI yesterday, a sac fly. Arroyo's sac fly was a go-ahead one. It came in the 6th inning, got Noelvi Marte home after Marte made some things happen on the bases.
Stole second. Made a great tag on that ball that McLean hit into left center field.
Machado is essentially playing shortstop, opposite way contact. Should easily get through at third base.
Well, with Sheets holding the runner at first base and Stevenson, Arroyo has been really pull happy since he's got to the big leagues. He might have a chance to sneak it through there.
Fought foul.
Almost looked like he was trying to hit the ball down the third baseline there, didn't he?
I think so too. Time called by Arroyo.
You made the mention of Machado playing shortstop. There is no third baseman.
This one is golfed foul down the right field side. What do you see as the differences? We can see the numbers. How is Arroyo different lefty versus righty as a switch hitter?
I just think he looks more comfortable from the left side. I think that's his natural side. Right-handed, he's got a much more severe uppercut. I mean, make no mistake about it. He's got an uppercut from both sides. And when you see that, the more that big league pitchers see him, they are going to pitch him at the top of the strike zone. Right up there. And as long as he swings at it, they'll keep throwing it up there because there's nothing you can do with it. Because if you're taking an uppercut at that pitch that's up there around your chest, it's a fly ball to center field. Thank you very much. I'm going to head into the dugout. Now that pitch down there, that's where he can hurt you. I don't think that's where Giolito wanted that ball.
He has already fouled off 8 pitches. This will be the 10th pitch of the plate appearance.
Be a tough out. I mean, these are the kind of things that a manager looks at with a young player that comes to the big leagues. Can you handle your own up here? Can you hold your own water? Or does somebody have to carry it for you? Can you fight for an at-bat? Can you battle through an at-bat even with a pitcher that's throwing a bunch of different pitches?
Sent to left center field. Merrill going deeper gap. He's got it. Well, recently, Chase Burns and veteran Chris Paddock have exchanged grips and pitch ideas. Burns has imported Paddock's patented changeup. For more, let's take a day break and learn about the new change for Chase.
Well, it's amazing what you learn from teammates, and Chase Burns was searching for a more consistent changeup, and guy I went to was this guy, Chris Paddock. When he first threw that in the game, how geeked were you over that?
Yeah, man. So, you know, a couple games before I got moved out to the bullpen, you know, just haven't been pitching well. And here we are at home. He's got the ball, and that first changeup that he got was a swing and miss. And I hop out of my chair, fired up, and the boys down in the bullpen just kind of look at me like, "Are you all right? What's going on?" And I was like, he just threw my changeup, got the result he was looking for. And Burns came up to me and he said, "Hey, man, I'm just curious. You know, you're a guy that, you know, we both kind of throw the baseball the same way. He uses his heater at the top. I don't throw 100 with 20, but, you know, we kind of have that same arsenal. He's a guy that has that higher arm slot, so we're able to bounce ideas off each other." And I said, "Absolutely, man." Showed him my grip, and you know, the next day we were out and playing catch together, and I gave him a softball. That's how I was taught my sophomore year of high school.
Show us the grip specifically, and maybe what he was doing, or more importantly, what specifically how you grip it.
Yeah, so I'll kind of show the camera here. So I call this the horseshoe, right? The horseshoe faces you. That's the easiest way to explain it. That ring finger here is going to be on that inside of the seam. The middle finger there, ring finger is going to be on that, basically right on that outside edge. You can kind of manipulate, play around with whatever's more comfortable. The pinky's tucked underneath this bottom seam here. And this is the tricky part for me. These two fingers are off the baseball. In my glove, they're on the baseball. Whenever I release, they're off. The only cue that I have is I point my middle finger at the target. That helps me stay on top of the baseball.
What were your takeaways, Cowboy?
Well, I think everybody has everybody that throws a changeup. Not everybody can do that. Make sure we know that right away. It's a tough pitch to be aggressive with, but when you can throw it with your fastball arm action where the hitter thinks it's a fastball, that's what you're after. And grips change from pitcher to pitcher, and I know that Burns has been trying to adapt to that. And that's how you work it. You can talk to your pitching coaches, you can talk to different players, different pitchers, and get an idea about what works, and then you have to decide what works for you. But I would describe that changeup as the Vulcan. I mean, that's how far you're spreading your ring finger and your middle finger. And it takes a softball to kind of stretch that little bit of webbing that's between those two fingers to begin with. And if you do it too much, the top of your hand gets sore, and then it affects some of your other pitchers. So you have to gradually work into it.
Just threw a 2-1 changeup to even the count on Sheets. Strikes it out on the slider.
When you have a pitcher on the mound that is throwing 97 to 99 straight over the top with some major carry at the top of the zone, you've got to start early, because he's going to pop that part of the strike zone all day long. Well, if you start early, you're susceptible to the changeup automatically, and then you see that slider that he threw to Sheets. Oh my goodness.
Will Wagner, the DH tonight.
I think that's part of the reason that you see teams come out, and you see the Padres doing it here tonight. They are swinging at the first pitch. They do not want to get down in the count and have to see that breaking ball and decide whether to swing or not. They're trying to make it happen early so they don't look foolish.
This is sent to center field. Dunn has to play it on a bounce. Base hit for Wagner.
He got in between on his break there. I think he thought he could catch it, and then he decided midstream, I don't know, and then he realized he probably could have caught it if he had come on full speed.
Wagner was only recalled today from AAA. He was a deadline deal from the Blue Jays last year. Xander Bogaerts was placed on the paternity list. The reason for Wagner's summering: he is the son of Billy Wagner, the Hall of Fame closer. And Samad Taylor, who had a huge night yesterday. Sal Stewart plays on the grass at third. Taylor ended last night 2 for 4 with 3 ribbies. There was an official scoring change. His bunt hit, part of the 3 straight bunts in that fatal 7th inning, was changed to a sacrifice and fielder's choice, so he lost his 2nd career multi-hit game in the majors. But he gained his 3rd career sacrifice. Now, he still drove in 3 runs and made 2 great plays in the outfield.
These are the kind of hitters that this is where Burns has to improve his game. guys that can't hit him, and yet they're going to take, and you know they're taking, and you've got to be able to get the ball on the plate.
4-pitch walk.
Because when you have a name like Tatis Jr. or Manny Machado, even Jackson Merrill, you're aggressive. You know they're going to swing, so you're rifling it to a spot. Then you get a guy at the plate that you know can't hit you, and you know he's not going to swing early, and you start aiming the ball a little bit, and you get yourself now into trouble.
So now Bryce Johnson, lifetime 240 major league at-bats. That's spread over 5 seasons. He's been a pro for just over a decade, now 30 years old. Just 8 for 40 this year with 15 strikeouts against 3 walks. Now with men in scoring position, the league sub 80, 0.80 against Burns, the lowest in the majors. All 3 hits singles. Rolled slowly to Arroyo. Shovel to McClain. Not in time. Johnson has some quicks, almost 200 career steals in the minors, and he beats out the double play. So now men at the corners, and it brings up Freddie Fermin, who Saturday snapped it 0 for 30 with what proved to be the game-winning homer against the Mets. He has homered in 3 straight games for the first time in his career. Runner takes off from first, feigned throw by Stevenson. Johnson swipes second. Now has 5 steals in the bigs this year. There was one word that was the buzz in the Padre clubhouse with what the lower third of their order did yesterday. Havoc. Havoc with the run game. Havoc with the bunt game. They sped things up. They were able to add on and pull away.
Just goes to show you, if you put the ball in play, you've got a chance. If you strike out, it's definite that you're going back to the dugout.
Because you made the point before the game today, and an accurate one, that for most opponents, the way you get to Chase Burns is
hit a home run. It is pretty much non-existent that you're going to string together some hits and score off of this guy, and that batting average with runners on base would tell you that.
Fouled away.
And you add in the additional pressure that a hitter feels once there's an RBI situation, so you're not so relaxed like Samad Taylor was, where he's just standing up there like a statue taking pitches. You know you're in a position to drive in a run, so you start to swing, and then you chase a pitch that's well out of the zone.
Good block by Stevenson. That's been a visible and improved part of his game behind the plate.
Yeah, and there's not too many catchers at the big league level that can slide the way Stevenson does, and every catcher is on a knee now. And being able to move like that gives you some great faith on the mound.
In on his hands, popped up, calm call by Lowe. Burns strains them both. The Ohio Lottery post-game concert series is back, featuring John Party, Marshmello, Rick Ross, and Ludacris. Plus, upgrade your tickets for an up-close view with a field pass. For tickets and more information, visit Reds.com/concerts. On top of the order for the Reds, they lead 1-0. Blake Dunn rallied from 0-2 to 3-2. Eventually struck out swinging. Squared a bunt, yanks it back, elevated miss.
Got to stop showing bunt so early when he's trying to bunt for a hit. You see it too. They were already crashing on the corners. It's got to be at the last second. The element of getting a base hit with the bunt is the element of surprise. If you show it too early, that's a sacrifice. You're squaring around showing bunt because everybody knows you're bunting. When you're bunting for a hit, it's got to be the show at the last second. The third baseman and the first baseman are looking at your top hand. If that top hand starts to slide up the bat, here they come.
Grounded hard and smothered on a spin. Machado from a bent knee. Three-time Gold Glover. One down.
He's not struggling at third. May not be hitting right now, but he can flat catch it. Nice pick by Sheets over there as well.
J.J. Bleday flying to center his first time. That is ripped into right field, base hit.
That changeup coming out of the hand of Giolito, he's trying to start it inside to the lefties and just float it back over the plate. And this ball just kind of sits there.
He's overwhelmingly fastball changeup at this stage of his career, but it's been a lot of changeups. Stewart walked his first time. Curveball for a strike. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Batter's challenging the call a strike.
That is a ball.
Yeah, when Giolito first broke in, he could throw that curveball.
Cincinnati has two challenges.
It was devastating with a high fastball right off the top of it.
Stewart challenges a lot. He's right a lot. Tapped foul.
I mean, what we look at now at the big league level, hitting speed is 93, 94. So if you're 90, 91 with your fastball, you're below hitting speed. And that requires patience at the plate to be able to connect with that more consistently.
How about this, by the way, Cowboy? So we've been chronicling for some time. Stewart has had the most ABS challenges, the most successes. Do you know who's number two? It's another rookie, the Tigers' Kevin McGonigal. Is that part of what's coming with young players that grew up with ABS?
Yeah, I think they have seen it way more than current big leaguers, especially big leaguers that have been here and that are veterans. And I think what goes with that, John, is that when you've come through the minor leagues with this system, you have an idea where the most successful times that you can challenge. Those big curveballs, more times than not, miss too low. And then the fastball that's up and it's away. That's the pitch that, when you know that's the pitch that umpires miss, then you have a good idea about where to challenge and win. But I think for this kid, he just knows the strike zone. He's got a pretty good idea.
51st pitch from Giolito. Showing the ball for Mean. Safe slide back by Bleday.
I think there are times for Sal where we see him swing at a pitch that's higher than high. And I think at that point, he's willing to go outside of the strike zone to try to do some big damage. Now, Granted, hitting the ball that's helmet high is going to be pretty hard to do some damage, but I think that's where you get the outside of the zone swings.
Bleday took off on a ball in the dirt, and that is ball 4. Well, Stewart walks. That's already now 3 walks for Giolito, 1 in each inning. His walk last inning was the spark of a 2-out rally. The Reds made Giolito throw 18 pitches with 2 outs last inning. He's now going to rematch with Nathaniel Lowe, who flied out on the only pitch that he saw, but will stand in with 2 on as pitching coach Ruben Niebla goes out.
Well, I can't imagine that Craig Stammen is going to watch this too long. It's just kind of smoke and mirrors out there for Giolito here on this night. I mean, he's trying to count on the Reds going out of the strike zone.
Well, the Red who has seen Giolito by far the most and has by far the most hits against him is Nathaniel Lowe. His first at bat tonight was the 20th at bat, 21st plate appearance lifetime he's had against him. Does have 5 hits, a couple have gone for extra bases.
And I think Lowe knew that as well, but he did chase a pitch that was well off the plate his first time up and popped it up. You just can't get too over aggressive with a guy that is only going to pitch on the margins.
And Lowe often works one of the higher pitch counts of Reds hitters. Very similar pitch, and this time a take. But the Reds runners look eager. Bleday is hopping as aggressively as I can recall off second base. And Sal Stewart has looked like he's in modified starters blocks in a track competition as he readies at the cut of the grass. (3-0).
He wants no part of Nathaniel Lowe here. And the Padres don't even have anybody throwing yet.
Bases loaded. The 4th walk drawn by the Reds. 3 straight Reds have reached here in the 3rd.
When you throw a fastball that is just off the corner, especially the inside corner, and the hitter doesn't even move his hands, he saw it all the way. And you know it if you're on the mound. And you're like, oh no.
Spencer Steer fly to left his first time.
Reds have got to cash it in right here.
Ball 1.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to swing and have a big hit here. You can walk your way around the bases if Giolito is not going to give you something to hit.
A lot of power against the Padres lifetime for Steer. Takes a strike.
Yeah, how about that?
Steer has 1 career grand slam, came in Philly a few years ago. He has walked bases loaded 5 times. Sheets plays in front of Lowe. Way wide. Giolito immediately looked down to the mound where a noticeable divot sits in between the pitcher's rubber and home plate.
And now they begin a little movement in that bullpen. They're seeing what I'm seeing.
Tapper, Giolito lost the ball. Tatis has no play, and the Reds take a 2-0 lead. Re-Rackham loaded once more. That was tailor-made for a force at the plate and a possible double play.
That is a huge break for the Reds. Steer hit that off the end of the bat, right through the wickets.
And now a man who has mashed lifetime bases loaded, the very due Eugenio Suarez. David Morgan is up in the Padre pen. There is blood in the water. First pitch, just foul. Eight grand slams lifetime, hitting .280. Smothered by Fermin.
Did they give Giolito an error there?
I would assume so. It's fielder's choice. Indeed, he won. Scoreboard showed it, but I've learned over the years to not go by scoreboards. Check swing that's in the zone, called a strike. Longtime friends and workout partners chatting at third. Up and in on Suarez, who has had some huge swings in BP, has looked smooth the first 2 days in San Diego. He is 3 for his last 37. Reds added him to be a power bat. Swung through, strike 3.
That is a hanging breaking ball. That just rolls up there. Suarez tried to do too much with it.
Matt McLean walked on 4 and scored his first time. McLean, lifetime bases loaded. Arguably the thing he's done best is work walks. Sitting in the 270s, but he's on base at a 400 rate, bases loaded. 1 grand slam. Softly back to Giolito. Huge chance for the Reds. They get 1 run. Their lead at 2.
Catch it all season long.
Chase Burns gets swing miss at a high rate. Reds have a 2-0 lead. StatCast 3D, Google Cloud. The amount of whiffs, swings that come up empty against his slider.
Well, the majority of those are starting on the plate and end up below the plate, and they're usually following a 98 or 99 mile an hour fastball in the same direction.
The only man who gets whiffs at a higher rate is Padre closer Mason Miller, old friend Fernando Cruz, and his unique splitter right behind Burns. Gets ahead on Sung Moon Song, who is at shortstop tonight. He was the KBO's Player of the Year in Korea last year. Signed a 4-year, $15 million deal, made his debut against the Diamondbacks in the Mexico City series back in April. One, 2. And the knee, swing and a miss, strike 3.
They don't throw them like this in the KBO, John. Not that kind of hook, not with that kind of velocity, and not following a pitch that was 98.
Fernando Tatis Jr. retired on 1 pitch his first time, with Burns threw a 6-pitch first inning. The most pitch efficient first for a Red in a couple of years. He's done that in 2 different innings this season.
That last pitch by Burns is almost an impossible pitch to hit because it's starting middle away and up. You're thinking drive that ball to center field or right center, and it just It snaps down and away, and it's on the play. It's a strike whether you swing or not. And look at that thing. I mean, that is just perfection. That's how you teach it. You draw it up. Hey, kids, that's how you throw it.
Tatis to center field. His first hit on the series as we have brief word from Jake Sweeney Chevrolet.
Jake Sweeney Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Now, Tatis is the Padres' top base stealer. He does get caught some, but Chase Burns has an incredible pickoff move. Jackson Merrill has struck out so far today. Smash down the right field line. Fair ball. That kicks corner. That's trouble. Wave is out for Tatis. Overrun briefly by Steer. Tatis comes home. Over to third on a headfirst plunge. Jackson Merrill. Padres on the board. It's 2-1.
First pitch fastball. Middle in, elevated a bit, and Merrill does a great job of getting the barrel to it, and he smoked it.
The wheels of Tatis able to come home from first. Jackson Merrill's first triple of the year. Reds bring the infield in now from Machado, who on one pitch fly to right his first time. And Terry Francona's coming out and wants to chat with first base umpire and crew chief Alfonso Marquez. Did he think it should have been a ground rule double?
Maybe what he's asking.
Did any spin of the ball hit any part of the stands beyond the fencing? Because that would be enormous. That would take a run off the board and make it second and third, still 2-0.
It did look like it had some awkward carom to it as the ball came off the ground and kicked high up on the wall. I don't know, it's hard to tell from that angle. It looked like it was riding up the pole. You guys see anything? I didn't see much. Looked like it just hit off the pole. Well, can we ask New York?
After crew consultation, it is determined that the ball was left in play and the result is a triple by the hitter.
So it was in play the whole way.
I think looking back at that replay there, ball hits the wall, hits the pole, and then it keeps going up, but it doesn't ride along the pole. It keeps going up, but it was just kind of depth perception, you know, because it was hidden behind the pole, or hidden in the yellow of the pole, I guess is the best way, as it was coming back towards the field of play.
So infield in against a man who lifetime hits the ball hard a lot.
Well, Machado, regardless of slump, regardless of the pitcher on the mound, he's awfully good at getting the ball in the air.
That's where a lot of his contact has come this series. He's top 5 among active players at hits, homers, ribbies. If he were to pull one to the drawn-in third baseman, that's where his longtime mentee and workout partner he's been talking to and helping to coach for almost a decade, Sal Stewart, is playing. Guided beyond short, base hit.
Gotta bounce it.
Merrill scores, tied at 2.
Manny's been doing that little one-arm flip ever since he got to the big leagues. Back-to-back breaking balls. It's off the plate, but it's not far enough away from Machado where you can see him lunge out almost that. If you're a Reds fan, you remember Todd Frazier doing that back in the day. There's some guys that just have that elongation with that one-hand swing, and that's the guys you have to bounce it.
You just know Machado is better than the horrendous numbers he's had this year. It's a matter of when. And he gets a soft single there to drive in a run. Now Gavin Sheets, who has struck out so far tonight.
One of the rare times so far here in the young career of one Chase Burns where we've actually seen the opposition string together some hits to score some runs without the benefit of the long ball.
It was a bit of a surprise to see Sheets in the lineup yesterday. Granted, the Reds were throwing lefty Andrew Abbott because lefties have dominated Sheets on the year. It's not a surprise when it's a right-hander. All 10 of his homers and far better contact has come against right-handed pitching. Machado doesn't run a lot, but last year at age 32, he did have 14 steals. He has one this year, but he's not been on base all that much. Entered the series with the worst average among qualifiers in the majors. Full count.
And I don't know that you really run here simply because you're trying to keep that hole open on the right side of the infield for the left-handed hitting Sheets.
But with Wagner on deck, do you ignite him? They do. 3-2. Arroyo, and they avoid the double play. So Machado to scoring position. Now, Jim Day, Andrew Abbott does know the Padres' Will Wagner.
Yeah, one of his biggest mentors growing up was his dad, Billy Wagner. And we've talked to him many times about that influence as a youngster. And these two not only were teammates around that time, but were competitors on different teams in college. The two do have a relationship and do stay in touch. So some interested eyes from Andrew Abbott on this at-bat.
Wagner singled to center field his first time. Down to Dean. Three-one. To this point, Burns has walked one. It's the man on deck, Samad Taylor, who never saw a strike, but walked last inning. What do you want here?
Well, I don't want the fastball down and over the plate. Down and away out there. That's just what Wagner's looking for. You can go back up again, or you can go with that slider in.
Payoff. Fouled at the plate. Grounded right to short. McLean. A triple right at the heart of 3 straight hits and a 2-run inning to tie it.
It's closer than you imagined. St. Elizabeth Healthcare.
Reds TV presented by Benefits All In. Our eye in the sky, high above Petco. The sun setting on another blissful day in paradise. Reds and Padres deadlocked. All even at 2. Tyler Stevenson drove in the Reds' first run. That came in the second inning. Reds had Lucas Giolito seemingly on the ropes. Had bases loaded, 1 out, and they got 1 run. So Giolito out there to begin the 4th. There was stirring in the Padre pen during that momentous inning for the Reds. You saw Stevenson just kind of catch the pitch with the barrel of his bat.
Flips it into center field. No overswing.
Sailed by Giolito. Up and in. He's got to be close to the end, right?
I thought he was at the end in the 3rd inning.
They're stirring again in the Padre pen. Three at 1. They had David Morgan up last inning. And Stevenson lifts. Decent ride to right center. Merrill, deep gap, has it. Brief word now from Big Sandy Superstore.
You'll find the best selection of the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Big Sandy Superstore in Fairfield and the Kenwood Shopping Center.
Yeah, I think that Big Sandy guy's got a brother here in San Diego.
You heard that same booming voice?
San Diego Padres.
Out of the zone to Edwin Arroyo. Yeah, there is an echo and a bravado to the games here. They draw big. Only the Dodgers are averaging more fans than the Padres.
They have 7 levels in their stadium.
We are in the 2nd most populous city in California to LA. The 8th most populous city in the country. Arroyo fouls it away. Arroyo saw 11 pitches his last at bat, his longest Major League AB. Fouled off 9. Reds have worked 11 pitches in 2 different ABs this series. Blake Dunn did it yesterday. Big cut on the changeup. Here's the aforementioned Dunn. Strikeout, ground out. 3rd time through for Giolito. Lefty Wandy Peralta is the man warming now. This is right around the pitch threshold Giolito has been at. The lefty Blade on deck. He's in the second position. The cleanup man is lefty Nathaniel Lowe. Those have to be the hitters Peralta's preparing for. Bounced home. Only the second time this year Giolito's gone to 80+ pitches. Called strike, ABS.
Batter's challenging the call of strike.
That is a ball.
Calls overturned. Cincinnati has 2 challenges remaining.
Season high tying 5th walk for Giolito.
Giolito is the kind of pitcher that when you go to bed as a hitter after the game and you haven't put him in the books early, it gives you nightmares because you keep seeing that same pitch. It's right there, it's right there, it's right there. And you're either missing it or you're hitting it off the end of the bat.
Cowboy, why is he facing Blade here?
I don't know. Well, I sure am glad he is.
Blade has singled and scored.
I'd have taken him out in the 3rd inning.
I mean, this is a dangerous matchup. Blade assaults right-handed pitching. He connected on a changeup that just sat there his last time.
I mean, it's pretty obvious he does not want any part of him. Of course, I've thought that earlier in the ball game.
Now, Dunn has taken some aggressive leads. I want Blade hitting here. I believe in Dunn's ability to run, but do not take away the AB of Blade. Do not get picked off here. Do not get caught stealing. This is a chance for the Reds to snap this tie. Blade has plenty of pop to drill one into the upper deck in right field. Dunn goes. Pitch called a strike. Throw down. Safe.
Nice job by Fermin, but Giolito is so slow getting the ball to the plate.
Dunn's 4th steal in 5 tries this year. It's lifted. Shallow center. Song. 2 out, walk, Dunn stranded.
Perfect.
Tied at 2, bottom 4. Chase Burns entered tonight in some rare company or Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. Reds in the last 80 years, 7 or more wins, sub 2-1, first 12 starts. Burns, Volquez, Armstrong, Seaver, Norman.
Well, I remember that 1990 season, the first half for Jack Armstrong. Whew, he was smoking.
Bunt. Stevenson lets it go foul and whisks it away. 0-2 on Samad Taylor.
But the problem for Jack Armstrong is when he hit the All-Star game, from then on, not the same guy.
Now Burns threw 27 pitches last inning, his highest pitch total in any one inning this year.
Well, fortunately, he had a first inning that if you blink, you missed it because he got him out that quickly.
0-2. Swung through, strike 3.
No chance.
Our champion Windows pitch tracks.
This is why I was saying when he was walking Taylor the first time up, just throw him the heater, Ricky.
First pitch, swung through, strike 1. California penal. Bryce Johnson has reached on fielder's choice. Padres once again have David Morgan warming, so maybe that's part of what was happening. The lefty Wandy Peralta was getting ready. They elected to stay with Giolito against Bleday. Now it's back to the right-handed Morgan, who had warmed in the third. And the idea that they're preparing a right-hander right now tells me that Craig Stammen was more worried about Bleday than Nathaniel Lowe. And he's probably saving Peralta.
He wasn't that worried about him because he left him in there. It worked out.
But I would bet the next time Bleday comes up,
well, we won't have to worry about Giolito being in the game at that point.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case next half inning.
Dang, don't drop that rabbit's foot on your way back to the dugout.
Swung through, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Burns. Ready for Mean, popped to first his first time. Burns gets some different kind of swings on his stuff. Now, to this point, we've seen way less of the changeup tonight. Saw the graphic earlier in the game. He threw 9 last time out, his second highest total on his young career. He's only thrown 3 changeups total so far tonight. Is he saving that for third time through?
That was like a strike. Now, Stevenson dropped it. But yeah, I mean, that ball's right there.
Payoff. To third, caught by Stewart. Join the Reds on Saturday when they host the D-backs. Fans in attendance receive an Andrew Abbott City Connect bobblehead thanks to St. Elizabeth Healthcare while supplies last. Visit Reds.com/tickets. Now, Lucas Giolito went 4 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned. Gives ground to our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. It's David Morgan.
And the Padres have got to consider themselves awfully fortunate that they got to this part of the game with it tied.
First pitch in on Sal Stewart, who was walked twice. Giolito, 85 pitches, 43 strikes. His 5 walks tied a season high. appeal, no go. Three and one. Morgan from nearby Mission Viejo High School, about an hour north of here. Similar territory to where Reds Nick Lodolo, Matt McLean, Spencer Steer are from. Full count. Payoff. Struck him out.
There are times for Sal Stewart that he takes this ball and shoots it in the right center field gap, and he does it with some authority. There are other times that you just see a swing like that. A lot of that is just pulling off the ball, trying to hit it too hard.
Nathaniel Lowe has flied to right. He has walked.
It's tough being young, coming into the big leagues with a lot of expectation on top of your head. Oh, man.
That really can be a bear, right?
Yeah, but I just really believe, I could be way wrong, but I really believe that Stewart has the confidence and the bounce back ability to kind of let some of this stuff kind of roll off of his back and just come back and play ball. And I think we've seen that already. He's had some really high highs, and then he'll fall off a little bit, and then he climbs back up on the mountain. And that's part of being young now. It's part of learning the big leagues.
The Reds are taking a lot of pitches tonight. They're averaging well over 4 pitches a plate appearance.
And that's what they needed to do. Problem is, when they've got him on base, they haven't been able to get him home.
And here's a walk worked by Lowe.
You and I talked about this to begin the ball game, that the Reds needed to be patient, especially with Lucas Giolito on the mound. They were to the tune of 5 walks. And even though they had the bases loaded, that's when they got a little too aggressive, swinging at pitches that were borderline on hitting them off the end of the bat.
Spencer Steer has flied out. He's reached on fielder's choice. A fielding error by Giolito. Softly tops a foul.
I think that is the toughest time for a hitter to be patient, is when they have a chance to break the game open. Because they know they have a chance, but you as a pitcher know that they have that chance as well. So you get the ball on the edges of the plate, maybe off the plate. Tease them a little bit, give them a little eye candy, and sometimes they'll swing at a pitch out of the strike zone.
Throws on the slider.
Nice pitch right there. Good breaking ball. Didn't start in the middle. It started middle away. I think Spitzer thought that was going to break off the plate, and it had a little bit of downward action and catches the corner.
Oh, 2. Way wide. Swung through, strike 3.
Seen a lot of this from the Padres pitchers. It's tough to hit the ball out of this ballpark to center field and into right center. So you stay in the big part of the ballpark. Right-handers pitch right-handers away, lefties pitching right-handers away, making them try to hit the ball into that part of the ballpark. We've seen a lot of fly balls to center field on both sides of the ledger.
Strike 1 to Suarez, who was grounded out, struck out. On his career, Morgan gets a lot of strikeouts. He issues a lot of walks. Right at Suarez, 0-2. Three-pitch K. Chase Burns back to the bump. He's bringing it tonight. He has struck out 5. Each time he's on the mound, he gives his Reds a chance to win.
See your Tri-State Chevy dealers.
Reds TV presented by Benefits All In. Chase Burns to the plate. Gets strike 1 ahead on Sun Moon Song, who struck out his first time. He just about never swings at first pitches. He's only done it a half dozen times all year. And just like his last at bat, he's down 0-2.
Well, the fastball that he chased for strike 3 in his first at bat, then it led to a slider to follow. He wasn't even close.
And Burns dove one down and in, and Song bent his front knee nearly to the dirt, trying to pretzel himself into a swing. This is the close of second time through for Burns. His next pitch will be his 75th of the night. One-two again. Way in. Full count. The Padre damage tonight has been done so far by the top of its order, and it's leadoff man Fernando Tatis Jr. on deck. Song asked for time. One of the longer plate appearances of the night. Strike 3.
See, this is the part of the ball game for Chase Burns that he'll learn as he goes along. Location early keeps you away from deep counts late. And by that, I mean, once a hitter's seen you once or twice, especially when you're a two-pitch pitcher, and that's what Chase Burns is right now. They have a pretty good idea about what that stuff is going to be.
First pitch, Tatis, a lash to right, steer going back. It's over his extended glove, and it skipped to the stands, a double. Second knock of the night for Fernando Tatis Jr.
And when big league hitters are able to time you up a little bit as the game goes on and you have a little bit of fatigue, you don't quite have the same hop, you don't quite have the same bite, you may not strike them out, but they foul balls off enough to where it puts you in a puts you in a bind. And then you face the better hitters in the lineup, and they start to make solid contact.
In the 2-run third, the triple by Jackson Merrill was the pivotal swing. He drove in a run. He later then scored. That marked the first run surrendered by Burns on something other than a homer since April 28th. And at the top of the order has been the most aggressive, swinging early against Burns. A take 2-0.
For a starting pitcher, location is, it's what separates you from everyone else. It allows you to get deep in the ball game. You don't have to grind so much through at bats by pitching in the middle of the plate and just trying to overpower hitters, because you can't overpower them throughout the ball game. We see that every night. You can get through the first 9 batters, but once they see you, if you're pitching middle away, middle in, even though your stuff is outstanding, they're going to figure out a way to make some contact. But if you can locate on the edges as you get deeper into the ball game, it changes the outcome. If you're a closer, you don't have to. You just overpower them and you get 3 outs and go to the house.
Burns has to cover. Lowe tries to lead him. Out.
Ooh, they might challenge that.
Burns with the athletic stab of the bag. Tatis has third.
It looked like Burns got to the bag and stopped. Or he slowed down dramatically instead of going through the bag. When you've got a fast base runner, if you're stopping or slowing down over there, it affects the throw from the first baseman. I can't believe they didn't challenge that.
And that's a huge out because Manny Machado guided a single for an RBI his last time. He's a master at getting the ball in the air.
Yeah, I think the Reds would have challenged this.
Knowing how it's gone for the Reds this year, they probably would not have won the challenge. I feel like they've been burned on a lot of close call challenges. But if this is a 1-out situation, it feels entirely different with Machado at the plate. Up and in. Tatis took a huge, exaggerated lead, trying to grab the attention and distract Chase Burns.
Well, the other part of it, too, with Tatis, if Burns bounces the ball in the dirt here and it rides up on the catcher, Tatis has that kind of speed to score.
Up and in again. Three and 0. Walk Machado, Gavin Sheets 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out is on deck. Swing 3-0. It's something Machado's done a lot lifetime.
Well, regardless of the 166 batting average, the name is Manny Machado, and every single pitcher that steps to the mound is bringing his A game every time this guy's at the plate.
Jam swing, pops him up. McLean backpedals. Burns got him. He works around the double, keeps it tied.
Canuck injury report for tonight. Earlier today, this is Ellie De La Cruz running. He also took grounders in the infield, took some infield, and looked pretty good doing it. And once again, they're just trying to hold him back. And Terry Francona talked before the game, stressing to Ellie, we just need more information and more testing before we completely turn you loose again. He'll be re-imaged on Friday.
I appreciate that, Jim. How about Pierce Johnson? He was scheduled to throw today, right?
Yeah, he was throwing all fastballs in the bullpen, threw breaking balls on flat ground, and it's all still good news on that front.
Appeal, strike.
And here he is throwing earlier today. Again, it was all fastballs off the hill and breaking balls on the flat ground. And this was his first bullpen, and he says he feels good. And obviously, Reds can use him back. They can use Pagan back. They can use Ashcraft back. We're talking about high leverage guys all on the shelf right
now. 0-2. Yank line. Now McLean has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. The lefty's getting up at the Padres pen. They had Peralta warm earlier. And it looks like Adrian Morahone is up now warming for the Padres, while the Reds have Brock Burke getting loose. I think that's all for Burns.
If you're winning on a regular basis, there's no way you send Burns back out there, because he was totally laboring, max effort, emptying the tank to get out of that inning.
It did get the zone. McLean has struck out. Now the Reds have lost 5 in a row. They've lost 9 of 11.
And knowing that Burke is throwing now, and you've got 2 left-handers to begin the inning, then the bottom of the order, I would say he's probably done.
Tyler Stevenson, ribby hit. His first at bat. He has since flied to center. Oh, 2. Stevenson lifts right side. Sheets going out. Johnson coming in. Brief word now from UDF.
UDF's got ice cream quakes. The ice cream, real. The mix-ins, big. The choice, yours. Ice cream quakes from United Dairy Farmers.
Edwin Arroyo is flying to center. He's also struck out. Saw 11 pitches in that first AB. Showed square. Machado was playing on the grass and never took his hands off his knees. He was bent over watching the entire time. He never bit, thinking a square was actually coming. Hard ground ball. Tatis can't get to it.
Well, Morgan has got that high leg kick. I'm sure that may be a conversation that they'll have right now.
Arroyo does not yet have a swipe in the big leagues, had over 80 in the minors, and has shown his speed when he's had a chance to bolt. He was off and running many times during Dunn's long AB in the 5th last night. Dunn, after 11 pitches, eventually struck out. That's pitching coach Ruben Niebla out there. The left-hander Morahone is just about ready. You have to think preparing for the on-deck man, J.J. Bleday. Blake Dunn is 0 for 2, a walk and a steal.
Sometimes you just have to push the envelope.
The league trying to run when Morgan's been on the mound. 5 successes in 7 attempts on his 2-year big league career.
I'm running.
Because you got your leadoff man to the plate.
So yeah, I mean, even if he's thrown out, then you've got Dunn to lead off with whoever they bring out. But as I mentioned last night and tonight, you don't want to get 7, 8, 9 in a tight game and then rolling out those thunder arms in that bullpen.
Dunn. Tatis can't get there. Arroyo sprints through second. Scoop by Johnson at right. Base hit Blake Dunn. First to third Arroyo, men at the corners.
Well, that's the last batter that Morgan will face tonight. Nice piece of hitting by Blake Dunn. He really pulls his hands inside of this ball. Yeah, it's now a 7-game hitting streak for Blake Dunn.
Not shabby, hitting in the, 340s in that time? A very slow walk out for Craig Stammen. Means an extra couple of warm-up tosses out there for Morejon.
Attorneys you know, attorneys you trust.
Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by UC Health. Expect more at uchealth.com. And by Bet365, where winning is everything. Tied at 2. Reds have men at first and third. 2 down. J.J. Bleday rematches with lefty Adrian Morejon.
Left-handers hitting 145 against Morejon this year.
Bleday has singled and scored so far tonight. He saw 1 pitch against Morejon, fly to right in the 7th yesterday.
Doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed. You have to start early with Morejon. He throws the ball 100 miles an hour. And that lefty-on-lefty slider is some kind of wicket, as you saw on that first pitch. I believe I'd take my chances and run again right here. I don't think they'll throw through, but if they do, you're going to score Arroyo.
The delayed double steal is a tactic the Reds used a lot, David Bell era. One and 2. Dunn takes off. Bleday lashes a foul.
Well, when Morejon kicks his knee up, not only does he kick it up high, he also has that body turn. What that tells me immediately is that he's slower to the plate. It's not going to give Fermin a great chance to throw out the runner at second base. You get a runner down to second. If he throws through, you're going to score Arroyo. If he doesn't throw through, you have runners at second and third.
Dunn takes off again, fouled back. Dunn goes. Bleday fouls at the plate.
You've also got a left-handed throwing first baseman. If Morejon decides to pick the first If Dunn gets in a rundown, you break the runner from third immediately, because a left-handed thrower has got to run the runner towards second base and spin all the way backwards to throw the ball back to the plate.
Dunn goes. Bleday takes, and no throw. Cowboy called it. Dunn's second steal tonight. Ninth pitch of the plate appearance. Struck him out. Reds have stranded at least one man in every inning tonight.
At Reds.com/Tuesday.
Chase Burns, the subject of our Blue Moon Bright Spot.
Well, he had a longer inning there. Let's hope that that rejuvenated that arm a little bit. He was really struggling from a control standpoint in that fifth inning. Not as crisp as we saw earlier in the ball game.
Now, the Reds have had Brock Burke warming for a bit, and he is still up in the Reds' pen. Padres go left, left, right to begin the sixth. Sheets is struck out. He is grounded out to second base. He did work a full count, part of back-to-back full counts at the close of a 27-pitch third inning.
Well, when you see that hat coming off of Tito's head and the scratch of the head with the hat off and looking down. Look, I played for that fella. That is when he is really getting worried.
Got him. Seventh strikeout for Burns.
Well, that'll give him a deep breath. That's the kind of location I'm talking about.
Now Wagner, who is singled against him, also grounded out to short. And it's 4 straight Padres that have seen a first pitch ball.
He's letting it eat right now. He knows the end is near, and he is coming on with it.
Paid attendance tonight, 40,469. It runs in.
And when you're feeling that adrenaline and knowing that you're pushing it all the way to the end, you've got to stay in your mechanics. You've got to know at what point in your windup that you let it loose. Because if you let it loose too soon, you start dragging, you open up, and then it just doesn't come out the way you want it to.
Just the second walk tonight for Burns. Stevenson out to talk. The right-handed Samad Taylor about to stand in, who walked on 4 his first time. Nearly bunted his way on last time. It went just foul. He struck out.
And you can pretty much bet that Samad Taylor will be trying to do that again. He will try to bunt here. He will try to bunt for a hit. because there is no way he's going to catch up with that fastball swinging. Taylor's got that little drop with his hands. He can't catch up with that high fastball.
Stewart shallow at third. No square, ball one. That's 5 straight first pitch balls. Outfield sheets in, particularly Blake Dunn in center. This is a big part. Two 2-0. Stewart hopped back a full stride on that pitch. Burns over 100.
This is a point as a starter where you have to force yourself to be easy, easy, easy. Fight that adrenaline, and then at the end, let it eat.
This is the highest pitch count for Burns this year. First time he has cracked the century mark. First time he's done it, period. Did not do it during his short time starting last year before time on the IL. Later sent him to the bullpen down the stretch. Two. Center field, Dunn sprinting gap. Gets it on a slide, lost the ball. Wagner over to third base. And the batter runner to second, and Samad Taylor.
Hanging breaking ball. It's the only pitch Taylor's hitting there. And it's right in the center of the plate. Didn't do a whole lot. It slowed down for him.
And that's a tough play for Dunn, who had to cover a ton of ground, and he was able to hold the lead man Wagner to third. That's all for Burns. A double by Taylor. The switch hitting Johnson due up. The lefty Brock Burke gets the call.
Only at Pizza Hut.
Chase Burns, a career high 105 pitches, leaves tied at 2. Second and third, infield in. Brock Burke, the new pitcher. Miguel Andujar was set to pinch hit for Bryce Johnson. They issue him an intentional walk to have Burke dance with Freddie Fermin. And we'll get a pinch runner at first for Andujar, who had left the game on Sunday with a hamstring. Jace Bowen, who would be the logical replacement defensively, is on the pinch run.
Well, you burn 2 players off the Padre bench with that move. You also put yourself in a position for a double play out of Fermin. But he has also been the hottest Padre hitter as of late.
He's popped to first, lined to third today. First pitch miss. He's homered in 3 straight games for the first time in his career. One and one. Way outside. Good grab by Stevenson. Will Wagner, the go-ahead run off third base. Grounded, handled by Lowe. Fire home for a force. Relay down, double play.
Oh, look at that. Extraordinary defense. Great job. Nice, calm movement by the veteran first baseman.
Preserves the line for Burns. Keeps it tied. It's 2-all still.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Chase Burns making history. Going back to 1901, only Edison Volquez has had a longer surge of starts, allowing 2 runs or less in Reds history. 2008, the lone all-star year for Volquez. Andy Coakley, that was the second of his 2 years with the Redlegs in 1908. First pitch strike delivered to Sal Stewart. Red showing Dane Myers on deck to pinch hit for Nathaniel Lowe. Jace Bowen had pinch run. He stays in the game at right field. Morehold misses. Stewart has walked twice, struck out once. Padres have a right-hander up in their bullpen. Bradley Rodriguez, ABS.
Batters challenging a call strike.
And that's a ball.
Calls overturned. Cincinnati has 2 challenges remaining.
He's never been shy about it, but I feel like the success rate for Stewart's going up.
I'm right there with you.
You mentioned the speed from Morehone. He also seems to be particularly extreme on the rubber and with how closed he is.
Well, he's definitely on the first base side, and he's trying to create that angle for his slider, burying it in on right-handers and down and away to lefties.
Three and two. As he prepares to pitch, the batter can read his nameplate on the back of his jersey.
But the batter can't see the ball as he takes it out of his glove. It stays behind his back leg, and it stays behind his upper body as he comes to the plate.
Sent to first, bit of a kick. Sheets, the flip to Morehone.
Sal trying to find that second base hole, and he gets it right to Ben Sheets. But you look at the effort from Sal Stewart going down the line. Well, you'll never hear anybody argue about that. That is full effort on a ground ball to the first baseman.
So now Dane Myers pinch hits. He has 7 pinch hit base hits. That's the most in the majors, most by a Red in a season since both Tyler Stevenson and Max Schrock had 9 and 7 apiece in 2021.
And he likes that first pitch to put the ball in play.
Lowe ends his day with a couple of walks, 0 for 1. Myers taking all the way there. Rarity.
Guess he doesn't like it tonight.
Because you're right, he's had a lot of those big doubles.
First pitch doubles.
First pitch. Now they're playing him hard opposite way here. And check out the outfield. Jackson Merrill is extreme to the gap, and you can't even see in frame Bowen. He's playing that far over in right field.
Yeah, I remember Lenny Harris when I played with him with the Reds. And he's one of the best pinch hitters of all time. He would say, I'm getting the first fastball. It might be on the first pitch, might be on the third pitch, but that first fastball I'm attacking because I don't want to get in a position later in the count where I have to see a breaking ball. I've been on the bench for 7 innings.
That's a good point. Trying to double up on the changeup, 2 and 2. This is the third batter, a 3-batter minimum for Morejon. I'm surprised the Padres haven't used ABS more tonight. There have been a few borderline calls that
they lost them early last night, and there were a lot of calls that they probably could have challenged late. Now they ended up winning the ball game anyway.
Smash to center field. That's a stung base hit. Scoop by Merrill. And Myers connects again. That's 8 pinch hit base hits, and it's June 9th.
It's in the middle of the plate. Ran the count to 3-2. You had to come in there. That ball's up. And the best part about Myers is he doesn't try to do too much with it. He just stays right on it. Gets right back in the middle of the field. Might he be running?
Spencer Steer. Morejon thought exactly that. Well, by now the right-handed Rodriguez is likely ready, but they're riding with Morejon here. Now, this is a rematch of last night. Steer, his only moment in yesterday's game, he pinch hit, bases empty, 2 down to the 7th. He was the last batter that Morejon faced. He struck him out.
And it's with the high velocity fastball. Goes in a changeup in there.
Fouled away.
He's definitely trying to rush Steer with a fastball at the top of the zone.
Now remember, something that hasn't come up very often. Step off the rubber, it's a disengagement. You don't have to throw to first. You get 2 disengagements per plate appearance. Upstairs, called strike 3, ABS. We don't see Steer do this a lot. Does he stay alive here? Yes, he does.
Calls overturned. Cincinnati has 2 challenges remaining.
Last year, that's a strike. Let's be honest. Change up here.
He's thrown a lot of them. Myers feigns. Steer takes. Slider, ball 2.
That's what he got Spencer with last night, was a changeup. It was down and it was a swing.
He threw 3 of them to Stewart. He threw 3 of them to Myers. Changeup.
There it is.
Eugenio Suarez 0 for 3, couple of Ks. He is the Red, particularly later in games with a man on. You see teams do what Manny Machado's doing right now. He is hugging the line at third base.
You pretty much have to play no doubles with Suarez at the plate and a runner at first with speed. And Myers can run a good bit. Because if you throw the changeup away and you leave it on the plate, that's the pitch that Suarez has the propensity to pull down the third baseline.
Oh, 2. Appeal, he did not go. And just the third time this year Morejon's thrown 30 or more pitches. He topped out at 32. That was on April Fool's Day against the Giants. Rodriguez has been warming for so long in the Padre pen, he's practically thrown an inning. We saw a similar warm-up from Morgan, who seemed to warm for the better part of a half inning. Then sat as Peralta warmed. Giolito pitched that whole time. And then Morgan entered 2 innings after he had warmed. Check swing, appeal. He did not go. Myers goes. A miss, throw down late. Myers steals second.
Actually not a bad pitch to throw for Fermin, but the jump by Myers and then the long delivery to the plate, the timing just off for Morejon in that instance.
Oh. Look in ABS.
That's right there.
Batter is challenging a call of strike.
End of inning.
Salad stuffers, only at Panera.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Multiple defensive changes. Dane Myers had pinch hit for Lowe, takes over at center. Steer is in at first base. Blake Dunn is now at right. Oh, and 1 on Song, who has struck out twice. Bunt yanked back, 0-2. And Jason Adam is now warming for the Padres. First part of the pair that you highlighted, Cowboy, he seemed to go. Appeal says no.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the Padres do. The problem is they just haven't had that many leads in the 7th inning over the last couple of weeks. They've been behind, and you can't use those guys in that spot.
Berg strikes him out.
But they are tied at the moment, and you're going to see Adam as you come to the plate in the 8th, and you're going to see Miller in the 9th because it's a tie ball game at home. There's no save opportunity if you're tied in the 9th for the home team.
Top of the order, Tatis has single, doubled, scored. Takes a strike. It's been so rare that their scoring has been up to par with their end-game pitching, but when they do lead after 7, they're 26-1. When they lead after 8, they're 27-0. Grounded right side, leaks through, base hit. A 3-hit night for Tatis.
Now you have to guard, you have to be aware of the speed of Tatis running here. I mean, there's only so many chances you get at this part of the ball game to have this part of your order at the plate with a runner in scoring. There you go.
First pitch, strike. Tatis off. He's caught for the 8th time this year.
Boy, that almost looked like a quick pitch by Burke. So Burke obviously was aware of the speed of Tatis, and a phenomenal throw by Stevenson. That is a huge out.
You said beware, and the Reds were prepared.
I didn't even get it out of my mouth.
That's a heck of a tag, too, by McLean.
Oh, yeah. Catch and snap.
0-1 to Merrill. Merrill tripled first pitch in the 3rd, drove one in, later scored. He's also struck out, bounced to first. High in the air, right center. Dunn the call. Minimum face for Burke.
What you bring? Official whiskey of Major League Soccer.
At each and every home game, if Red hits the Toyota Hit and Win sign, one lucky fan wins a new built-in-the-USA Toyota Tundra. Register for the Tundra Home Run Challenge and your chance at any Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. Our Toyota game summary: Chase Burns just 2 earnings again, 10th straight start of 2 runs or less, 7 Ks. Blake Dunn, a base hit, a walk, has swiped a couple of bags. Jackson Merrill, a triple, a ribby, and a run. Familiar scene, 8th inning, it's Jason Adam. He struck out 3 in a scoreless 8th last night. The only man to reach was Matt McLean, who successfully challenged on ABS 3 times and walked against it. Tonight he's down 0-2. McLean has walked and scored tonight, grounded to the pitcher, and struck out looking. Machado playing no doubles at 3rd. Check swing foul. Way wide. Caleb Ferguson warms in the Reds pen. And Cowboy, you believe they'll stick with the same formula of the Padres even if it's still time?
I do. I think you'll see Miller in the 9th. It's not like Miller's been overworked over the last 10 days. The Padres have lost 11 of 14. Not too many save opportunities when you're losing.
Payoff pitch. And McLean walks again against Adam, ABS.
Catcher is challenging and call the ball.
McLean already broke into his trot down to first. Ball.
Calls confirmed. San Diego has 1 challenge made.
From 0-2 to a walk.
So wouldn't this dictate a bunt right here? Just because of how crucial this situation is for the Reds with your leadoff batter aboard. You hit a ground ball in the infield, it's an automatic double play.
Stevenson has 0 career sacrifices.
Up and in. Either that or you're going to steal McLean.
McLean already 8 steals this year, caught twice. He had 18 last year. Adams showed that sidearm pickoff move against McLean last night.
And he's very accurate with it. It's a pretty good move.
Adam does get run on. Stevenson swing and miss. He has 2 career pickoffs. The caught stealing rate is dreadful. It's below 12%.
Yeah, he really has a high leg kick, and it takes him a while to gather himself before he comes to the plate.
McLean goes. A bad miss in and an easy steal of second for McLean.
Well, that alleviates any kind of pressure to bunt or the thought of bunting, because your goal in that situation was to run McLean.
Cheats in a step at first. Reds tonight are 1 for 7 with men in scoring position. So are the Padres. Padres have stranded 6. The Reds have stranded 10. Full count. Ribby single for Stevenson tonight. He's 1 for 3.
Change up here.
It's his best pitch. Slider turned on early. Stay hot, Willie Harris.
And the reason I said change up there is Adam rarely throws back-to-back fastballs. He'll throw back-to-back changeups, but not back-to-back heaters.
Way in.
There's your changeup.
And a bad miss that put Stevenson on. Consecutive walks for Adam. So the Reds have drawn 8 walks tonight. That matches the most issued by the Padre pitching staff in a single game all year. And now, 2 on. Edwin Arroyo has speed. He's batting left side. This screams bunt, right?
Well, Arroyo had the go-ahead hit in last night's ball game. Of course, that go-ahead hit was in the 6th inning.
He has shown bunt many times in the majors. Doesn't have a sacrifice yet. He did sacrifice 8 times in the minors, including 5 times this year in 2 months at AAA. When he was one of the best hitters in the International League, he still laid down a bunt and moved a man over 5 times. There are many prospects in most organizations just don't do that anymore.
Well, the Padres are expecting bunt because they've got Machado and Sheets well in. I'm talking 2-3 feet inside the cut at first and third.
Here we go. And the Reds give the Padres a taste of their own medicine. A miss on the bunt, pulled back.
And you can see exactly what the Padres have in mind. They want Song standing at third base, which is exactly where he was. And they want a position player, whether it be Sheets or Machado, handling the ball and try to cut down the lead runner in McLean at third base. The old wheel play, as we like to call it.
Last year we saw Santiago Espinal swing away when teams ran this play. 1-0 square, drop down. That's a great bunt. Oh, and it goes foul.
That was a great bunt.
It just spun wide of the chalk. It's only strike one.
And you saw on that play, Machado broke back to the third base bag. The pitcher, Adam, was responsible for the third base line. He was supposed to run directly there, and he kind of hesitated, and then he bit the dust. But fortunately for the Padres, that ball rolled foul. I thought that was an excellent bunt.
Could he butcher boy? Term coined by Casey Stengel many moons ago. Corners crashing. Play is on. Bunt. Missed. That's a strike.
He bunted at a high fastball there. That's usually a recipe for disaster. See the shortstop breaking. They change it up this time. This time, shortstop is covering third base with Machado crashing.
Corners remain shallow. They think the bunt might still be on with 2 strikes. No square. He swings away, lifts to center. Merrill going back. McLean shaping up the tag. Catch made. A bluff by McLean. Strong throw in. 1 out. Dunn's been on twice tonight. He has stolen a bag twice, a hit, a walk. He has struck out, grounded out.
When you're playing good teams, you have to execute in critical situations.
Strike one. In a still fairly short span of time, Dunn has had a knack for some big moments. A couple of walk-off winners for the Reds in just the last 3 weeks. Awkward step off by Adam. And aggressive hand signaling coming from the Padre coaches. They're telling the shortstop, Song, come in more shallow. Take a full step toward the plate. McLean takes off. Pitch called, a strike, a steal of third. And now a fly ball could mean a Reds lead.
Big stolen base there from Matt McLean. He read Jason Adam with the one look. You could see him hopping as Adam turned back to the plate. The pause. Didn't even draw a throw from the catcher for Mean.
Infield a touch more shallow. Fermin looks to the dugout for direction.
Well, if you're the Padres infield, you have to play for the play at the plate. With Dunn's speed, there's no guarantee, even on a hard hit ball, that you can turn a double play.
Look in ABS. Reds have 1 to lose.
Batter challenging the call strike.
Is Dunn alive with 1 out? He is not.
Call confirmed. Cincinnati is out of challenges.
First strikeout for Adam, and now it's up to J.J. Bleday.
I would imagine Bleday is going to see a few changeups here.
He has singled, scored. He's 1 for 4. Topped foul.
Fastball up and in. The hitter spins on it. More times than not, what follows that is a changeup that is down and away. Change the eye level, change the speed, definitely change the location.
Machado way off the line at third. Huge lead for McLean. Leday fouls it away.
That wasn't his best changeup. That one stayed a little bit straight. He might go back to it.
If Leday goes opposite way, he's got a lot of real estate for that ball to sail for a hit. McLean takes a large lead. Way wide.
He did go back to it. Tried to really overpronate on that one. He ran it way off the plate. Has not seen a slider in this at bat from Adam.
On a night the Reds have been as aggressive with the steal as they have been in years.
Can't run Stevenson though.
No. Well, he does run, and the pitch is popped up. Tatis. Reds are 1 for 10 with men in scoring position. They have stranded a dozen.
Catch it all season long.
Join the Reds this upcoming Sunday for Veterans and Military Appreciation Day, presented by Hamilton County Veterans. Special ticket offers for military members are available at reds.com/military. Thank you for your service. Pitching change for the Reds. Caleb Ferguson to face the heart of the Padre order.
Ferguson's throwing the ball good for the Reds. Limited appearances as he got a late start on the year, but you see those numbers.
Last saw him Sunday in St. Louis. Faces Manny Machado. Ribby hit on a 1-for-3 day. Ferguson broke in and spent the bulk of his career in the National League West as a Dodger. Hard ground ball by the backhand of Stewart. It trickles corner. Bleday after it. Machado up to second base. He begins the home eighth with a stand-up double, just his second multi-hit game in over a calendar month. Gavin Sheets 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, a ground out to second. Pulled right side, advances Machado. Arroyo flip to first, 1 out.
That is all Gavin Sheets was trying to do. Get the ball to the right side of the infield.
Infield in, Ty France is pinch hitting.
You know, and this just comes down to basic baseball. And I said earlier, to beat good teams, you have to be able to execute in crunch time. The Reds have not been able to do that here tonight. And they have now got to stop the Padres from being able to do that here in the 8th inning. A double, you get him over. Now, if you're Ty France, you're just trying to get the ball in the outfield to get him in.
The former Red had a base hit yesterday, line to right. Machado got the ball by his longtime pupil.
Boy, I like this move right here by Francona.
Intentional walk to France.
You've got a veteran hitter at the plate that can make some rather solid contact, especially going the other way. You've got to play your infield in no matter what, with Machado standing at third base. Looks like we're going to see Tony Santillan to face Samad Taylor.
Santillan's been warming. He's going to get the call. Tony Santillan trying to keep it tied. 2 on, 1 out.
Hardware, folks.
Make your favorite Reds players all-stars. Scan the QR code to cast your daily 2026 Konami eBaseball MLB All-Star Ballot or visit MLB.com/vote. Tarps off kids, twirling their shirts. The upper deck beyond right. Tony Santillan enters in a pickle. It's 1st and 3rd, tied at 2. 1 out in the 8th, facing Samad Taylor, who has shown an executed bunt multiple times on the series. Stewart creeps in at 3rd. Square, yanked back.
It's a safety squeeze. You can see Machado, he's steadily following his old friend, his protege, Sal Stewart, in from 3rd base. He did not get ahead of Stewart. He just staying right with him.
Square dropped down. Nobody at the plate, and Machado scores! Runner still going to 3rd! And they wave it dead. Did it hit the batter? I thought it hit Taylor. And here comes Terry Francona. I thought I saw it ricochet.
And I think your umpire at 3rd base and Lance Barrett saw exactly the same thing. He waves it off.
And Machado is walking back to 3rd base.
But that's what a safety squeeze is all about. Once the ball is down, you take off. Yeah, it hit right off of his hand. But that's how that play works. You follow the 3rd baseman in. The further the 3rd baseman comes to the plate, as the ball hits the dirt, you take off.
Here we go. 1-1. Bunted foul to the screen. Taylor takes a tumble. Does he dare Square again with 2 strikes?
Well, here's the issue, too, with that safety squeeze. You can't vacate home plate. Even though Tyler Stevenson wants to go get it and come back, you don't have time to do that. You got to stay at the plate and hope one of your guys can make a play.
Square with 2 strikes, yanked back. Machado went halfway, trailing Stewart up the 3rd baseline. And that looked like it was in the zone. Reds have no challenges. They burn them offensively. Dunn cheats in and right. Yanked back. Strike 3. And exhale.
Fastball came right back to the outside corner. A bit of a paralyzer from Tony Santillan.
Santillan has had a hard year to this point. If he can get the Reds out of this situation.
Now you can exhale, but I'm still holding my breath.
Now it's Jace Bowen. His first plate appearance today. They showed pinch hit on Duhar for Bryce Johnson. He got intentionally walked. And right after he hit the bag, Bowen came on to run for him. And Bowen had a bunt hit last night. Broken bat, pop. Arroyo going way out. It's gone! Blake Dunn! The full extension. He takes it away!
He is covering some kind of ground in that Reds outfield. That was terrific.
He was cheating shallow the last couple of hitters, and he robs them on the broken bat flare.
Michelin, motion for life.
Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by your Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Jeep dealers. And by Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Some dynamic defense from Blake Dunn. Mason Miller now in. First pitch is elevated, a miss to Sal Stewart, who has walked twice. It's only the 6th time this year the National League saves leader has pitched without a lead.
Well, the only reason he doesn't have a lead at the moment is Blake Dunn. That was unbelievable. I didn't think he had a prayer to get to that ball. Can't teach speed.
Miller struck out the side last night, got Arroyo, Dunn, and Blade. Could turnabout be fair play. Manny Machado stressed the Reds significantly with his double that he whistled just past the backhand glove of Sal Stewart. With Stewart at the plate, Machado's as tight to the chalk as he's been all night. Swung through, strike three.
I mean, this comes, he's not even in the screen. And then all of a sudden, poof, there he is.
Dane Myers pinch hit, base hit in the 7th, later stole second. Scalded the ball on a 2-strike pitch.
When you're facing a guy like Mason Miller with that kind of velocity, don't swing harder. The harder you try to swing, the slower it will be because you tighten up your muscles. You've just got to be quicker.
Fouled back.
He's throwing so hard, if you get the barrel to the zone, you catch the ball, he can supply the power. You don't have to swing any harder. You just got to be quicker to the zone. Easier said than done while I'm sitting up here, huh?
And Miller is just a monster.
102.
Stuff isn't everything, but stuff when you can also command like him matters a lot.
That's the problem. The ability to throw the breaking ball for a strike puts you in a major bind because then you have to wait one click later before you can pull the trigger. Because if you're swinging for a fastball there, you look like a fool.
Myers pops it up. Bowen. Brief word now from Jake Sweeney Kia.
Jake Sweeney Kia. Drive smart. Spend less.
It looks like Sam Moll is starting to throw in the Reds' pen. Padres are set to go right, left, right for Min Song Tatis Jr. Spencer Steer is 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts. Front door miss on the slider. He went. Tonight, the Reds have walked 8 times. They've also struck out 12 times. They have 5 hits, all singles. Way wide.
The Reds had a golden opportunity in the 3rd inning to blow this game wide open against a starter that didn't have a whole lot.
Three and one. Entering tonight, only 2 Reds have ever posted a hit off Mason Miller. Tyler Stevenson and Spencer Steer. He went. Reds in order. We go bottom 9.
Get paid out early with Bet365.
Bring your furry friends to GABP June 23rd. Bark in the Park, presented by Good and Fun and Dreambone. Enjoy special pregame activities before Reds Brewers. Fetch tickets now, reds.com/bark. Tony Santillan got a couple of outs on 7 pitches in the 8th. He begins the 9th tied at 2, facing Freddie Fermin. Squared a bunt, yanked back. Oh for 3 tonight. Bounced into a double play with a force at the plate. Bases loaded in the 6th. Bradley Rodriguez warms for a second time tonight for the Padres. Blake Dunn was the savior of the 8th. He is the Reds' highest rated defensive player active on the team. He is their best rated outfielder, period. Depending upon which metrics you like, the only men that have ranked higher, Ellie De La Cruz, who's having a great year defensively, and Key Brian Hayes, who at last check was working with Driveline as his back was starting to get better out in Arizona.
And some of these plays that Dunn has made on this road trip have just been sick. I mean, when you're diving on the warning track and then that play tonight,
His jersey looks like that a lot.
That's how he plays, all out.
Bounced off of Santillan's glove. Arroyo stays with it. Nice play.
No panic by the kid at second base. Just got the ball, made his throw in time.
Song appeal, he did not go. He has struck out 3 times tonight. Bounced off Santillan. It ricochets to right field. Santillan is hopping after that ricochet. A comebacker off his leg. And here comes athletic trainer Tomas Vera and the manager Terry Francona. Pitching coach Matt Tracy was out there as well.
You can forget about going out there with Santillan. He'd have to be in a coma for you to be able to get past that line.
Sam Moll had warned starting an inning ago. He is watching, occasionally throwing a pitch in the bullpen. Fernando Tatis Jr. is a 3-hit night. He has doubled. He has scored. Chases that breaking ball. The left-handed Merrill is on deck. Center field, base hit. Song up to second. A 4-hit night for Tatis.
Well, he made a great pitch on the breaking ball on the first pitch. This one hung on him. It stayed right at the catcher's mask.
That's his first 4-hit game of the year. Here comes the skipper with Moll warm, the lefty due up. That's going to be all for Santillan. Moll gets the call, left on left against the speedy Jackson Merrill.
DQ, happy tastes good.
Tied at 2, ninth inning. 2 on, 1 out. Sam Maul to face lefty Jackson Merrill. And Cowboy, you think you can see the future for a best-case scenario on how the Reds are trying to draw this up?
Yeah, you got left, right, left. Merrill, Machado, Sheets. I think Sam Maul will face Merrill if he gets him out, and the game is still preserved as it is at the moment in a tie situation. The Reds will walk Manny Machado. Even though he's hitting 166, it'll be a lefty-on-lefty matchup against Gavin Sheets for the ball game.
First pitch, away.
Now that's given that you get this guy out. If you walk Merrill, you will face Machado with the bases loaded.
Two and 0. To this point, Merrill has actually hit lefties better than righties this season. That's not the case on his career. Tapper, he's a burner. Maul gathers. No play. Bases loaded. What do you do now with Matt Tracy going out to chat with Maul?
Pray.
Machado has 2 hits tonight, a ribby single in the 3rd. He doubled just fair in the 8th. It's just his 2nd multi-hit game in 5 weeks. Lifetime bases loaded. He's one of the best active in the game. 357. He's got 14 grand slams. Ball 1. Infield in for the Reds.
And if you're the Reds, you might as well bring in Bleday, Myers, and Dunn closer than where they are right now, because if there's a fly ball hit out there, it's not going to matter. You're trying to cut down a line drive that would be shorter than where they're playing. I mean, let's face it, if there's a fly ball to where Bleday is right now, the runner's going to tag, the game's over. Same in center, probably in right.
Two. Swung through, he struck him out. Whew.
Well, that's a big out. The one thing that you can count on in these kind of spots is Machado is going to swing. You just got to get it in a spot that he can't do any damage, and Maul did exactly that, but he's got a large out ahead of him. Now you can move your out. Well, they never came in, so they can just stay where they are.
Bases loaded for Gavin Sheets. Wide. 2-0.
Oh, John, I'm not sure I'm going to make it through this.
Strike.
This is definitely not for the faint of heart. Oh, my goodness.
These are two desperate teams. Reds trying to snap a 5-game slide. Padres have lost 4 straight series. Chip shot. Foul over a leaping steer. And Mahl's got 2 strikes. Can he bridge the path to extras? Bradley Rodriguez has been warming for the Padres. He is still the man up. 2-2. An answered prayer.
Oh, amen, baby. Amen.
Woo. Mahl leaves them loaded. Extras arrive in San Diego.
Crispy Farm Pan for a limited time, only at Pizza Hut.
Sam Mahl with a job well done. A couple of Ks. He inherited 2 runners. He leaves them loaded, and he bridges a path to extras. Reds are quite familiar with free baseball. The Padres have only done it twice this year. Bradley Rodriguez is the new pitcher. He was the first out of the pen last night. First man he faced was Eugenio Suarez, who lashed a line drive out. Well hit to left. Spencer Steer is the Reds' free runner. No doubles in third. That's been the case on both sides for some time. Strike 1. Suarez 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts tonight. Smoked! Fair ball! A tumble by Machado. Steer rips around third, and he scores! Eugenio Suarez kills a just fair ribby double, and the Reds take a 3-2 lead in the 10th.
Quite interesting that even though Machado was playing no doubles, he wasn't as close to the line as he has been with Suarez at the plate. And that ball just snuck right by him.
It was Machado who got a ball by Sal Stewart, and now it's Machado who gets burnt to his right. Pinch runner Will Benson is in to run for Suarez, who's serving as the DH, so it doesn't impact the Reds defensively. Now get greedy, get multiple runs. Matt McLean has had another strong night, 2 walks, couple of steals, a run scored. Corner shallow. Square, yanked back, ball 1. That's the biggest hit for Gino in a bit, probably since the Mets series in New York. Swing away, 1-1.
He tried to rush Suarez with that fastball as he did on the first pitch. And somehow Gino kept it fair down the left field line. That's why teams play him close to the third base line, because he can get inside the ball and keep it fair and still pull it right over the bag.
That's the 5th go-ahead ribby for Suarez this season. Both teams have struggled with men in scoring position tonight. McLean fouls it back. That hit for Suarez, just the second for the Reds. They're 2 for 11, stranding 12. The Padres are 2 for 13, stranding 11. An impactful hit for Gino.
Oh, that is clutch.
Strike 3 call. Now remember, when you hit extras, if you've exhausted your ABS challenges, you get one in each extra inning. They don't in surplus carry over. Unless you enter with 2, you can't have 2, but you get one in each extra inning. Tyler Stevenson, ribby hit and a walk. Hard ground ball through. Benson had to bend back to make sure he avoided the batted ball. Only gets over to third.
Well, see, that's a ball that Benson's got to be going on contact, especially with the shortstop moving towards the second base bag. No shortstop is going to run towards second base, turn, and throw to third. I think because the ball was hit right at him, it kind of froze him momentarily.
And Niebla, the pitching coach, out. The switch hitting Arroyo about to stand in. Lefty Yuki Matsui just got up, is just starting to warm for the Padres. The Reds have TJ Antone getting ready. The Reds fail to get that second score on a base hit, but 1 out. A fly ball can meet an add-on run. Arroyo got his first major league ribby with a sac fly, gave the Reds a 2-1 lead yesterday. Infield shallow. Arroyo is singled tonight. He's 1 for 4. Way in, almost hit him. And Noelvi Marte is going to come out and run, it looks like, for Tyler Stevenson. Marte wreaked a lot of havoc with his wheels last night. Stole second, tagged from second, went to third on a fly ball out, and then scored on the sac fly. Lifted left side, Machado in foul ground. That's in the seats.
You've got to run here again. The key is if they fake it, Benson's got to make sure he holds himself at third.
Hard foul. The Reds already have 6 steals tonight. It's their most in a game in 2 years. 3 of them from Matt McLean. And Marte is a very quick runner. He goes. Swing and a miss. They do not throw.
And they weren't going to throw from the first pitch on.
Stolen base, Marte. That's now 7 steals for the Reds tonight. Ties for the most by a major league team in any one game this year. Matches the Marlins and Brewers. Blake Dunn has walked, singled. He has stolen 2 bags.
He's also made a game-saving catch at the moment.
That was in the 8th, backing up Tony Santillan when he blew up the bat of Bowen. Had a falling fast flare, found the glove of a diving Dunn.
If he doesn't make that catch, it is over.
The yank pitch would mean a run.
Dunn likes to shoot that ball right back up the box, and there is no position player behind the pitcher.
Up high. Two and two. Bowen cheats in some and right. 2-2. Grounded to first. Leaning backhand. Sheets hits the bag. Reds have a lead. Eugenio Suarez. A just fair double. Drives in a go-ahead run.
Catch it all season long.
3-2 Reds, bottom 10, trying to snap a 5-game slide. TJ Antone is the new pitcher. PJ Higgins has entered to catch. Reds had run for Tyler Stevenson. Free runner for the Padres is Gavin Sheets. And the hitter at the plate is Ty France, who pinch hit and was intentionally walked in the 8th. Ball 1. Yanked down and away. Antone gave the Reds a scoreless inning yesterday. No runs on his line, but he was on the mound when there were 3 straight bunts executed by the Padres. Two and one. That's one of the livelier fastballs we have seen from Antone.
It's amazing what that adrenaline will do for you late in the ball game.
Fouled away. Well, the former Red, France, had some good ABs yesterday. Had a base hit in the 3rd. He lined out hard to right field his first time up last night. This marks his first chance to swing tonight.
He doesn't pull many balls. He's center field to the right field line.
Swung through, and Antone strikes him out.
What's a big strikeout for TJ there? Is France normally a pretty good contact hitter? Looks like that sweeper up at the top of the strike zone.
Now's the pocket where the bunt parade began, including what was originally a bunt hit for Taylor. Official scoring change happened earlier today. He takes ball 1. Walked his first time, doubled in the 6th. He's also struck out twice. Up the middle, off the mound, center field. Wave is on at third. Myers has a cannon. Fire shallow center to the plate. Cut by Steer. Run down, and there's nobody there. Steer looks Taylor back to first. He ties it with a base hit to plate Sheets.
Fastball up, took it right back up the middle. And you got to believe that Taylor somewhere here is going to be taking off for second base.
Jace Bowen fly to right in the 8th when he was robbed by Dunn. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. Yuki Matsui started to warm last half inning. Looks like he is still up and warming for the Padres. Pickoff throw. Taylor just got back safely. Hand up from Terry Francona. Do the Reds want a challenge? They will not. Taylor 9 for 9 trying to steal in the big leagues. He had 282 steals in the minor leagues. He goes. Pitch missed in. Throw down by Higgins. Safe.
Samad Taylor has proved to be a bit of a thorn in the Reds' side here in these first couple of ball games.
Way wide. He cut down McClain at the plate as part of a double play yesterday. He robbed McClain later in the game with that catch falling into the wall in deep left center. He had perhaps the best of the 3 strong bunts by the Padres in that critical 7th. And now Bowen, an Ohio native, playing in just his 7th career major league game. Does not yet have a major league RBI. Both teams have stranded small armies tonight. Strike 3, got him looking.
Little front door hook. And that one paralyzed Bowen.
So now Freddie Fermin, who bunted on Antone. That was when Antone was charged with an error. The 3rd of the 3 straight bunts last night. Way wide. Fermin tonight is 0 for 4, including a double play, bases loaded in the 6th to end the inning. Outfield Sheets in. One at 1. I'm wondering how many of these front door breaking balls are intentional, but they're working. Antone came back from 3 Tommy Johns, pitching again on back-to-back days. He might have nicked the zone there. Turned on the left. Bleday on the track. This is a wild game.
On Pan for a limited time, only at Pizza Hut.
Some wild moments in the eighth. Shattered bat, Blake Dunn. That was the final out of the inning. Stranded a couple of men. Preserved the tie at the time. And in the ninth, a couple of Ks for Sam Maul. In succession of Machado and Sheets. That left the bases loaded.
Yeah, that was some huge pitching to Manny Machado. The lefty-on-lefty matchup, you expect him to make those pitches, but when you've got a guy like Machado up there with the game on the line and the bases loaded and you strike him out, hats off to you.
Blake Dunn is the Reds' free runner. ABS on Yuki Matsui, a called strike. J.J. Bleday tapped the helmet. And it was a strike.
Call confirmed. Cincinnati is out of challenge.
Bleday has singled and scored tonight. Matsui worked a lot last couple of years, over 60 outings for the Padres. He has limited contact and base runners this year. A sub-1 whip, that's less than a base runner an inning. That's excellent. And the league is hitting .155 against him this year. Bleday in the air to right. Bowen sprinting and makes the catch near the line. Dunn tags, strong throw to third. Dunn's too quick. He's got third base. Bleday gets him over.
Now you got to figure out a way to get him in.
Padres bring the infield in for Sal Stewart, who has walked twice, struck out twice. He's 0 for 3, trying to snap an 0 for 14. Smash to center field. Steep retreat by Merrill. It's gone! Straight away for Stewart, and the Reds have a 5-3 lead in the 11th.
Well, I believe that'll get him in. That ball was crushed. A backdoor breaking ball, and Stewart left no doubt.
His outright team leading 13th. He snaps the tie with Ellie De La Cruz to grab the team lead. His first career road home run in the bigs came here in San Diego last year. And he hits a huge tie-breaking homer in the 11th. Dane Myers, pinch hit, base hit. He's 1 for 2 with a steal. Hey, Cowboy, we were talking at dinner tonight with Chris Welsh, who pitched for the Padres. You, of course, saw a lot of the West in your own day. How this portion of California, true sum of Dodger Stadium as well, 0-1. In the earlier hours, the ball can have carry. And we've seen that in this series. Generally, at this stage of the night, the ball doesn't jump.
It dies.
He crushed that.
That ball was annihilated. And you could tell the surprise of Jackson Merrill, because when the ball was hit, he kind of did a double take and then just turned and sprinted towards the wall.
That's his 4th go-ahead homer of the year. He's already got 7 on his young career. He's just getting going. 2-1. There is no challenge. Bleday burned the one they had. It was out of the zone. Two runs in extras means a lot. Strike 3.
Actually, I don't think that was a breaking ball. It looked like maybe a changeup or a split finger that just kind of hung up there. But split fingers that don't go down, boy, they go a long way. And that one did just that.
Steer 0 for 5, 3 strikeouts tonight. Swing and miss, 0-2. Zach Maxwell is getting loose in the Reds bullpen. Where Maxwell first got a taste of the bigs last year. Arguably, his best and most impactful outing came September 9th in San Diego. Upstairs miss. He went a scoreless inning in that game. Kept it tied. The Reds posted 2 in the 9th, beat the Padres 4-2. Reds would sure like, though, if they can, to try to tack onto this advantage. 2 outs. Benson, who had pinch run for Suarez, is on deck for his first plate appearance. Bounced up the middle. Tatis backhand with a stretch. Sheet stays on the bag. Stewart leaves the yard. Big boy part of the park. A monster moonshot on a San Diego night to center. The Reds by 2.
Please with the helpful hardware, folks.
Bottom 11 out west. Reds up 5-3 thanks to a 2-run shot by Sal Stewart. Trying to preserve that advantage, Zach Maxwell, who does not have a save try on his career before tonight. He has 15 lifetime minor league saves, 2 for 2 at AAA this year.
Well, the key for Maxwell here is just don't let the moment get too big.
Freddie Fermin, the free runner. Sung Moon Song at the plate, base hit, 3 strikeouts. He's 1 for 4. He absorbs strike 1. Now the Reds calling their challenge in the top half of the inning. They don't have one here. Padres have their 1. Check swing seemed to go, and it was in the zone. Song seemed to think about challenging, did not. Padres have a lefty up in their pen. It's Wandy Peralta, who had first warmed all the way back in the 3rd inning. So if I have this right, the Padres have had 3 different relievers warm up in multiple innings spread out during the night.
Yeah.
Lifted, shallow right. Actually on the dirt. And Steers got it. One down for Maxwell and the Reds, top of the order. Emilio Pagan's been hurt since the tail end of April. He is making strides to coming back. 8 different Reds have a save on the season. Fernando Tatis Jr., 4 hits, an outright season high. He's tied a career high. Yanks back a bunt. To second, Arroyo. 2 down, over to third goes Fermin.
Then there was one.
Jackson Merrill, RBI triple, a run scored. He's also singled. There was an infield hit. Machado on deck. Tying run is at the plate. Popped up. Myers has it. Zach Maxwell with his first major league save. The home run by Sal Stewart provided the cushion. Maxwell gets the 3 outs needed in the home half, and the Reds have evened the series at a game apiece. They have snapped their skid at 5 games.
Well, the Reds did not give up. Even when it looked at its bleakest moment, they just continued to battle and fight. Oh, my goodness, what a ball game.
A 1-2-3 ninth. Suarez had the go-ahead double when the Reds took their first later game advantage.
And that right there for Zach Maxwell, John, might be one of the biggest steps and hurdles that he's overcome in his big league career thus far.
Now he's got to be all kinds of fired up, in this whole team to taste success once more and a chance to claim the series tomorrow. We'll step aside. Post game to come. The sweet swing of Sal Stewart. With his mentor in the house, he goes straight away. What proves to be the game winner. A 2-run shot by the Rook.